Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You got a turbo and you're trying to figure out how to make your AC work? We're going to figure that out together today with an ICT billet drain cover. Join me. Here we got our timing cover set in place, and I have the bracket loose on the AC, or the bolts loose on the AC bracket, and they touch. So that's not going to work. If these were rotated like just a little bit more, that probably would be great. We're hitting right there. So I'm thinking there's enough meat in here that I can remove some of this rib and give me some clearance to get a line coming through right there. It still is supported. Tensioner bracket would still be supported with this portion here, which still has some pretty good rib meat on there, and I'll still have the support going this way on the back. If I leave some of that material right there, and I'm thinking that would be just enough that I can sneak a little AN fitting out there. So we're going to take a little bit off of that to start with, test fit it, and see how it looks. All right, guys, got it in there, got this little nub trimmed off, and I have this bolted. I got two bolts in here, just kind of setting it in place. It's not fully tight. It does still hit just a little bit down there, and I'm still going to need a little bit of room to get this fitting on. I haven't put the fitting on yet or near it to see how much of this I got to clear out, but we'll get to that in a second. I marked here around where the AN fitting is going to need to be clearanced, and I'm just going to kind of 45 that over a little bit on the bracket and then bring it up here and see the fitting fits. All right, well, we got this in here, got it bolted back down. It'll looks like it's going to clear the fitting down there possibly, but next problem we're going to run into is, if I get my camera right, is it is going to hit that rib, and it may hit the back end of that bracket. So we may be putting some extra bend into this to get it where we need to go, or maybe I've got room back here. I don't know, we're gonna have to play with this just a little bit, see what's going on. There is also the water pump that's gonna be right there-ish. So I would like for this fitting to come out this way, because it's got to get around the thermostat housing and the hose and then heater hoses and kind of go up this way, not that way. So we're gonna grind more of this rib out, probably take it down flush to the back side here, and bring it back in for test fit and see where we're at. All right, we're a little bit closer. Still not there yet. I put this fitting on just so we can see where it's at, what it's doing. Back you out a little bit. You can see right off the bat, this fitting is hitting. That rhymes. Fitting is hitting the side there. And if you look at the timing cover, we're offset that way just a little bit. So it's not centered where it needs to be. You can see that down here also. So timing cover still needs to slide over a little bit. It's being pushed because it's touching the bracket there. So we got a couple things we can do here. And I think we might have to combine all these different things just to get the clearance we need. I'm going to need to bend this basically to make this radius a little tighter so it doesn't hit the back of the cover there. I can't really take any more material out of this because it's not, I don't want to take the thickness out. And as you can see, it's not exactly like bolted down all the way. It's touching back here. You might be able to see that. It is touching back there, but it's a little bit off right there. So I think what I might end up doing, these things run a little stretchy belt anyway. I might throw me a couple washers behind this bracket to space it out that way and see if that doesn't give me just enough clearance off of that fitting. So let me try that. Well, that seems to be just enough. I used 2 washers. Now, I know you guys are going to get mad at me, but I used 3/8 washers because I don't have metric shit laying around unless I pulled off an LS motor. So yeah, 2 3/8 washers or whatever goes on there for you metric folks. I put 2 on the down here also. That just spaced it that way just enough. Stretchy belt should do stretchy belt things. This is just a Evil Energy 90 threaded down. It's not fully tight. I'm sure once I put another on there, it'll, you know, suck it in a little bit. That gives me just enough. Oh, mic's sticking. That should give me just enough to clear this oil line and any of these angles here, which I'll find out as soon as I get the timing cover on and the AC compressor back in. Then I can figure out how I'm going to dance around all this stuff. Well, there it is. So I was able to get this on. Started making my line. I'm using the Evil Energy line, so I'm going to try to get it mocked up, and then I can make the other piece or add the other fitting. But this is going to work great. I did have to go with 3 washers. We'll see how the belt alignment works. Sure, it'll be fine. That gives me enough room to get this on here. I can spin the fitting and it doesn't catch on here, so I can, you know, take this off. The only thing I got to do, which I'm not happy about, is I have to loosen that bolt a little bit to allow this to kind of move out like that to get enough room to get the fitting up and out, because it's, you know, really close. But I mean, you can do that without cracking your lines. I did. I just took the bolts out, moved this over here, and I can work on that. So just a couple extra steps, but you know, you get to keep the factory AC. So we got this little guy on there. Went ahead and threw timing cover, balancer, water pump. I don't have the thermostat housing on there yet because it's still attached to my hose. It's attached to the radiator, and I didn't put that in because I need room. Anyway, things are starting to fill up quick in here. I'm gonna run this little guy something along the lines of that, and then I got a 45 in here that'll bring that, you know, down that way, and that'll work great. I can throw a little Adele clamp on one of these to hold this in place, and should give me a, I wouldn't say a straight shot. It'll do some water slide things, but you know, it's a dash 10 and it goes downhill, so it should be good enough. If not, I can put a little sucker pump on it. I don't think I'll need to though. But I'm gonna make the other side of this line and get that in there and put the rest of the shit together. All right, well, kind of had to move some stuff around so I can get everything together. It's just a lot of stuff going on in here. But there's my drain. I can show you. It's got a 45 coming off of there. It looks like it's touching. It's like 1/8 of an inch off, and the turbo is not sitting where it needs to be. So, I mean, it's close, but, I mean, hey, things flow better when they're hot, right? So, I'm going to have to put some heat shield line on that. I did have to go over top of the thermostat housing. Used an Adele clamp here to kind of keep that out of the way, and then it snakes right behind the AC belt. Has, get a better angle here, has, well, there you go. Has a decent amount of room on there, so it shouldn't move around or touch anything. Give it the old dad test, it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, all in all, that seemed to work out pretty good. Still got a gap in here. Top up here. Yep, still got gaps everywhere, except for right there. But it is what it is in that regard. I also still haven't clocked this where it needs to go, so you can see it'll kind of come over that way a little bit when I get everything tightened up on here. I still got to take my turbo back off and do some more stuff to it. But for the drain line, that's going to work great. And the feed line comes right there, and just feed line things. So that'll work out perfect. I got a cap on the other side. I don't know if I showed that. Yep, cap. Everything fits. I'm using the ICT. I don't know which one it is. It's the generic truck replacement, but that is open there. If I can get the light there. That's open right there and allows that cap to kind of sit over top of that lower rod. This brace right here. If you didn't have this bracket and you were using truck accessories, you might be a little close on that side with this cap. So you might have to drill a hole or something in the bottom of that bracket. I don't think I have one offhand to show, but So that was pretty simple. I was trying to do research. This is my first turbo. I was trying to do research on how to keep everything together and what fits and what doesn't, and ordered a bunch of parts. So hopefully I could get it all done in one shot. And the timing cover hit the AC bracket. So not very many people out there, I guess, are keeping AC if they're doing turbo things. They just go all crazy. So now you know how to make your AC work with the turbo. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you on the next video.
Action. I'm fire. I just wake up and piss excellence, and I want to go fast.
You're not first, you're last.
I was high when I said that. Did real good. Car ran real good.